What up? It's your boy Wall Street Hit My Line, back again, ready to hit your line. And today I want to talk about the big trade that went down between the Sacramento Kings, the Chicago Bulls, and the San Antonio Spurs. A multi-team deal that landed De'Aaron Fox in San Antonio and Zach LaVine in Sacramento. So De'Aaron Fox is now a Spur and Zach LaVine is now a King. So to you, Zach, I say, pick your head up, King, because your crown fallen. You feel me? And to De'Aaron, welcome to Texas. You know, ready to see what you can do with Wemby, and it's going to be awesome. So I dropped a video just kind of like announcing the news because I heard it, and then I was like, I got to get on the mic. But I want to do a deeper breakdown today, which is what I'm on the mic for right now. So let me start by giving you guys the rundown of what the trade entails, right? So the Spurs are receiving De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings are getting Zach LaVine, Sidy Cissoko, and a litany of first and second round picks. They are getting a 2025 first round pick that is top 14 protected, aka lottery protected, from the Charlotte Hornets, or via Charlotte, I should say. A 2027 first round pick via the Spurs, and a 2031 first round pick via Minnesota, which is also coming to them from San Antonio. I think the Spurs picked up that pick with the Rob Dillingham trade that they made in this past year's draft. The Kings are also going to receive a 2025 second round pick via Chicago, a 2028 second round pick via Denver, and a 2028 second round pick that I believe was their own pick that they are now getting back. So, and then the Chicago Bulls are getting Zach Collins from the Spurs, Tre Jones from the Spurs, and Kevin Huerter from the Kings. They're also getting their 2025 first round pick back. They originally traded it to San Antonio when they made the DeMar DeRozan trade several years back. So I think this is a pretty decent trade for all teams, honestly. Like, I think every team kind of got what they wanted. It seems like the Spurs clearly wanted to pair De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. De'Aaron Fox clearly wanted to go there, even though he was saying, you know, I haven't requested a trade, this, that, whatever. I personally didn't think he was going to get traded. I thought this was a bunch of hoopla and all that, you know, whoop-de-whoop, this, that, whatever. And, you know, I guess it happened, you know. So, you know, I think it's going to be a good combination for sure. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. They're just pretty guard heavy now in San Antonio. You know, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Stephon Castle, you have Chris Paul, so it's going to be interesting how they're going to spread those minutes out, if they're going to wind up playing Castle at the 2 more, if they're going to play De'Aaron Fox at the combo guard a little bit more. But I think the main point of getting De'Aaron Fox was to put him in a pick-and-roll matchup where he's locked in with Wemby, right? Because that's clearly, he did a very, very good job of doing the pick-and-roll with Sabonis in Sacramento, and Wemby's going to be an even crazier pick and roll threat, you know, especially rolling to the rim. So, you know, the Spurs are really just getting their guy, right? Jordan McLaughlin, I don't even know if he's going to make the team, honestly, to be completely honest with you. And I watch a lot of basketball. I did not know Jordan McLaughlin was still in the league. But if he's on the team, great. It's likely that they're probably going to waive him, or they're just going to keep him on the bench. I don't see him playing a lot for their team. So yeah, I think the Spurs are, you know, suited to improve their record, right? And I think they did this trade so that they can make that push into, you know, the play-in. They are currently sitting just outside of the play-in. So, you know, they're probably confident that they're going to make a run now, right? They're sitting at the 12th spot in the Western Conference at 21-26 on the season. They have quite a ways to go to catch the Warriors. The Warriors are at 25-24, and they're not even in the play-in either. So the Warriors are tied with the Suns for that same record. The Suns just hold the tiebreaker. So the Spurs just really need to go on a run, and they can probably make it in. But, you know, they're also chasing the Kings. So De'Aaron Fox is going to be chasing his old team in terms of getting back into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. We'll certainly see what happens. But let's move on to the Kings. So the Kings get Zach LaVine, who is having a bounce-back season, is averaging about 4.5 more points per game this year. Only played 25 games last year, and then was ruled out for the rest of the season pretty early on due to an injury. So Kings are getting Zach, obviously, and then they're also getting Sidy Cissoko, who is a 20-year-old that was drafted in the second round of the 2023 NBA draft. So pretty fresh face in terms of, his NBA experience. And he's definitely going to be, getting some playing time, I would hope. I think he's a good player. He definitely has potential. I saw him check in at the end of the Spurs versus Heat game that I went to in Miami. It was great. He got a couple of points. I think he got like 4 points in garbage time. So he's athletic. He's long. He's a good defender. So he's definitely a prospect that they can keep on their roster and hopefully develop him into a guy that can be a defensive stopper, something along those lines, right? And then obviously I think the main thing here was that they just got a lot of draft capital back, right? They got 3 first-round picks. One of them is protected. The one this year is top 14 protected. And that's via Charlotte, so it's unlikely that they're going to get that pick because Charlotte is like the 4th or 5th worst team in the league right now. But a 2027 first-round pick via the Spurs and the 2031 first-round pick via Minnesota. So with the way the Wolves are going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if that pick turns out to be something that's in the lottery. Probably not early lottery, but probably, in the 10 to 14 range if they, don't really improve. So we'll see. But they got what they needed. It was pretty clear that De'Aaron Fox was probably going to leave, not next year, but in 2026. So it's good that they were able to at least get something. They now have Zach LaVine, who is under contract for, I think, maybe 2 more years. I gotta double check. I think he has a player option in 26, 27. He's under contract this year. Next year he's getting paid $46 million, and then 26 to 27 he has a $49 million player option. And I think he's probably going to take that. So, but they could probably trade him again in 26, 27 because teams, always want to get expiring money, and, it helps them kind of retool and refit their roster going into the summer if you get, an expiring contract. So it gives the Kings flexibility. It gives them draft capital. I think that's really the best they were going to get. And then for the Bulls, it's clearly a sign here that the Bulls are just trying to kind of build towards their future. They get their 2025 first-round pick back, so that's good. Zach Collins, Tre Jones, and Kevin Huerter, they're not necessarily super young in terms of the NBA, but they're still young. I think Zach Collins is the oldest. He's 27. Kevin Huerter's 26. Tre Jones is like 24. And all of them are playing basically, significantly lower minutes than they were getting last year. So these are all guys that kind of got pushed out of their current rotation and are hopefully going to get some more playing time once they arrive in Chicago. Chicago is really without a star now, in my opinion. So Zach LaVine was really the guy, and before that it was Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. They still have Vucevic, but it seems likely that Vucevic might get moved as well, and I think that's a good thing for Chicago. I think Bulls fans are clearly, they're good fans. They're very good fans, and they're very loyal to their franchise. But I just feel like the Bulls have been stuck in this, perpetual mediocrity for the last, handful of seasons. And they really have to do something to just get better, right? And, they didn't really do well when they had, a really high pick in, I think it was the 2020 draft, or maybe it was 2021, when they drafted Patrick Williams. That obviously has not panned out super well. They just drafted Modest Buzelis in this past year's draft with, I think, the 11th pick. So they have a lot of room to improve, and I think the best way to do that is by, getting rid of your quote-unquote star players that are a little bit older, maybe a little bit more injury prone. I think they've also been in talks to maybe deal out Lonzo Ball as well, but Lonzo Ball really hasn't been playing great. He came back off of missing 2 years due to injury, so I'm not surprised that he really hasn't been playing great. It's a miracle that he's even playing, to be completely honest, but If they can find a way to get Lonzo Ball to Charlotte and link up with LaMelo, and they can get something back in return, maybe a couple second rounders, because those will probably be early second rounders, at least for the next year or two. So, we'll see what happens. But I do think this is a pretty fair trade, in my opinion. I think the Spurs, were able to kind of get De'Aaron Fox for, a pretty easy price, in my opinion, because they knew he was going to probably leave anyway when he became a free agent. So they had leverage, and they wanted to get him now. They want to win now, it seems like, and they at least want to get him in. So if they don't win right now, they at least are building that chemistry with him and Wemby and Stephon Castle and Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, all those guys, Sohan. So I think it's good. I don't really know what the Kings are planning to do. Obviously, I think their best move is to continue to build around Domantas Sabonis. He is one of the best players I've ever seen play. Honestly, he's just so versatile. He does so many things well. He's got the second best three-point percentage in the league this season. He just improves year after year. And he's got a lot of game. He's got a lot of heart. And he does what he has to do. So shout out my guy Domas. And yeah, I mean, if I had to pick someone that won this trade, honestly, I think they all won a little bit, because the Bulls got rid of Zach LaVine. They get their first round pick back. The Spurs get De'Aaron Fox. And the Kings get something for De'Aaron Fox, right? Rather than getting nothing. And they get, 6 draft picks. So I think they all won a little bit. But, only time will tell. Only time will tell how it really went down. So I want to know what you guys think, though. So please leave some comments down below. Let me know who you think won this trade. What do you think of the new look Spurs with De'Aaron Fox? What do you think of the new look Kings with Zach LaVine? What do you think about the Bulls and their future? I want to know. So please leave some comments down below. Would love to hear your thoughts. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate you doing both of those things. And without further ado, I'll let you guys go. Hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, day, what have you. Stay safe out there. Have some fun. Watch some hoops. And most importantly, handle your business and stand on business. Peace.